Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're serving up the ultimate guide to clearing up some of the absolute densest terminology used in the Project Management Institute certification process. I mean, if you've ever stared at the requirements for a PMI credential and just felt, totally overwhelmed by the jargon, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break the whole shebang down step by step to make your certification journey crystal clear. Because right off the bat, PDUs, or contact hours, what's the difference? It is a question that trips up even the most meticulously organized professionals. People hear words like hours and units and just automatically assume they're interchangeable. But let me tell you, treating them as the same thing, that is a massive trap, and it catches so many focused learners completely off guard. And the reality is, misunderstanding this really simple distinction can cause some major headaches. We're talking about scrambling to piece together a puzzle right before your exam application is due, or worse, getting hit with a panic-inducing PMI application audit just because your hours didn't line up. But hey, navigating this PMI alphabet soup definitely doesn't have to be frustrating as long as you understand the core framework of how these two metrics actually operate. Okay, let's dive into this. I really want you to anchor this entire explainer around this chronological timeline. The fundamental difference between these two terms is literally all about timing. Notice step 1 on the left. This is what you need before the exam. In the middle, you've got the big milestone itself. And over on the right, step 3, what you need after the exam. Just keep this map right in your mind as we go. All right, moving right along to earning your contact hours. So if you look at the rulebook, contact hours refer specifically to the formal classroom hours of education required prior to taking your exam. I really want to emphasize that word prior. You absolutely must clear these formal hours before PMI will unlock the gate to even let you test. It's basically the foundational gatekeeper to your certification. And there's a pretty strict condition here too. These courses have to be directly related to the focus of the credential you're going for. A general business class or, an underwater basket weaving seminar? Yeah, that won't cut it. It has to be tightly linked to your specific project management discipline. So remember, it's focused, it's formal, and it is strictly pre-exam. Now let's look at accumulating your PDUs. Now, what's really interesting about this is what happens as we bypass the exam milestone on our timeline. Notice the massive shift in timing. Professional development units, or PDUs, are units you earn and record only after you've secured a PMI credential. At this point, you're no longer trying to qualify for a test. You're just maintaining the professional status you've already worked so hard to win. And because you're now in maintenance mode, the rules just burst wide open. Just look at this incredibly broad spectrum of acceptable activities. You can take courses, sure, but you can also earn PDUs by reading books, actually working as a project manager, or even volunteering. It is a drastically different list from the strict classroom requirements of contact hours we just talked about. It's flexible, it's real world, and it's ongoing. So let's bring it all together by comparing the two metrics head to head. Let's start with the math, because the golden rule here is beautifully simple. Mathematically speaking, both PDUs and contact hours are equal to exactly 1 hour of activity. The math simply doesn't change. 1 hour of a pre-exam classroom course, that equals 1 contact hour. 1 hour of post-exam volunteering, that equals 1 PDU. The actual value of the time spent is absolutely identical. And this brilliantly illustrates the core contrast we've been talking about. On one side, contact hours are locked into those formal, structured courses you take prior to the exam. But on the other side the padlock opens up, PDUs are earned through a wide, flexible variety of activities after certification. The math is the same, but the method and the timing, they are literally worlds apart. Which actually brings us to the crucial gotcha moment of this whole explainer. Please pay close attention to this warning. Not all activities that qualify for PDUs are going to qualify as contact hours. Because contact hours absolutely require formal courses, there is no way you can use things like reading books, working, or volunteering to check off your pre-exam requirements. If you try to submit your evening reading time on your initial pre-exam application, you're going to hit a brick wall for sure. In fact, the source material gives us some incredibly straightforward career advice. It says, if you are trying to earn contact hours to apply for a credential, please review the credential handbook for details. And honestly, that is the absolute smartest thing you can do. The handbook is your ultimate authority for that strict pre-exam phase. Never guess, always check the specific rules for your exact credential. So what does this all mean for you right now? Well, let me leave you with this final thought.
You know the timeline now, right? You know the difference between the strict formal requirements of the pre-exam phase and the highly flexible activities of the post-exam phase. But take a really hard look at your study plans today. Are your current learning activities actually preparing you for the exam, or are you accidentally trying to maintain a credential you haven't even earned yet? Align your efforts with exactly where you are on the journey. Keep on learning, and I will see you in the next explainer.